Hello everyone, I am Dr. Velamani P.S., Professor, Department of Computer Science, University of Science and Technology, Meghalaya. In this video, we are going to see trends in information and communication technologies in IoT. The contents are ICT, Information and Communication Technologies, the capabilities of this ICT, then the electrical vehicle charging, implications for IoT, the barriers and concerns in IoT, some of the case studies, the differing characteristics of M2M, that is machine to machine communication, then few concepts about robots, and finally the current market perspective. The ICT, information and communication technologies. As we know that the cloud computing is one of the greatest aspect of the evaluation of ICT for IoT, as it allows virtualized and independent execution environments for multiple applications to reside in isolation on the same hardware platform and usually in large data center. The data processing and intelligent software increasing role to play in IoT solutions. So the big data, the size of data sets that are available for companies and individuals to collect and perform analysis on it. Then the decision support or even decision making system, it become very important in different applications domains for IoT, as will the set of tools required to process data, aggregate information, and create knowledge. So, in the ICT, information and communication technologies, the IoT enabled technologies hardware that takes place in the upper level, and the IoT software platform, then after that, IoT applications. So if you are looking this in the cloud environment, so the cloud services will be provided to the people and these can be connected with the different things. So that is the information and communication technologies. Capabilities of IoT. The capability, the sensing and control complex in management and distributed across large geographical areas. So that can be done by the IoT systems. So which comprises with the multi models. That is the major capability. For example, when the new requirements on the smart grids involve end-to-end management of energy production, distribution, and consumption, it will take into the consideration needs from demand response, micro generation, energy storage, and load balancing. So industrialized agriculture involving automated irrigation, fertilization, and climate control is another example which we can consider on the capabilities of these IoT systems. In continuation to this, smart city solution. So uh, the clear need for integration of multiple disparate infrastructure such as utilities including district heating and cooling, water, waste and energy, as well as transportation such as road and rail. The smart city solution also, it can be done by using this capabilities of IoT. And the advanced remotely operated machinery such as drilling equipments, mines, deep sea exploring vessels, and some complex system and also certain autonomous control units. So generally, this IoT will allow more assets of enterprises and organizations to be connected. So thus, allowing the tighter and more prompt integration of assets into business process and expert systems. So the simple mechanics can be used in a more controlled and intelligent manner, often called smart objects. EV, or that's electric vehicles, are enabled by the new battery and energy storage technologies, but also require three separate elements to be connected: cars, road infrastructure via charging poles, and the electricity grid. In addition, there are new charging requirements that are created by the use of EV that need new means for building, and in turn place new requirements on the electricity grid itself. Sharing of information and services across organization in the horizontal dimension, as well as being able to aggregate and combine services and information to reach higher degrees of refinement and values in the vertical dimension. So in case of this electric vehicle, we'll see to in depth by using a simple diagram. And also this ICT solutions monitor and control assets, physical properties of the real world, require not just increased levels of cyber security, but what can be referred to as cyber physical security. So in an IoT, where it is possible to control assets, vehicle or mobile bridges, maybe it, it can be a server damage to property, or even a loss of life is possible. So now we can see the EV charging, how it takes place. The customer is going to charge the charge his vehicle from the EV charging station. So in this particular moment, the EV charging app will be there. So the particular app will search the specific EV charging station by using the cloud, and the charge can be done after making the payment by this particular direction. So the customer, the EV charging app, and the EV charging station, by using the cloud, the charge can be done. So this is the environment of this particular electric vehicle charging. So this is powered by an electric motor. So this gets its power from stack of batteries. Most cases, electric cars must be plugged into the recharge these batteries, lithium ion batteries. EV charging IoT comprises three major components: charging equipment, mobile lab, charging management platform. So these three platforms, these three areas which is available here. Now the hardware unit enable the various connectivity options, charging protocols, power electronics, and sensors. IoT gives the power to the conduct remote control management. So this is the very important thing, the power to conduct a remote control and management. So it provides the possibility for charging station to tailor services to EV drivers and respond in real time unexpected events. Now the implications for IoT. In the M2M device area, there is an emerging consideration of technologies where solution across different industries segments traditionally rely on legacy and proprietary technologies. The example, building and home automation control with legacy technologies like BACnet and LawnWorks. So this requirement for integration across multiple infrastructure and of a large set of different devices, as well as data information sharing across multiple domains. So, if you are looking this, the clear benefit from the horizontal system approach with at least a common conceptual interpretability made available and a reduced set of technologies and protocols will be used. The backnet and LoanWorks, these are all the two common networks. That is the building automation and control networks, that is back networks. So it is a communication protocol standard designed specifically to provide a way to integrate building control products made by different manufacturers, that is backnet protocol. Then LoanWorks, it's a communication network protocol which is useful for the building automation application designed on a low bandwidth. So for networking devices through power lines, fiber optic cables and other media, it will be used. So M2M is a point problem oriented, resulting in point solutions where devices and applications are highly dedicated to solve a single task. M2M devices are for this reasons many times highly application specific and reduces and reuse of devices beyond the M2M application is possible. It allows easy integration of SOAs and attracts a larger application developer community. Both devices and connectivity have become viable for many different applications, and M2M today is centered on devices and connectivity. Barriers and concerns. Barrier. A perceived barrier for large scale adoption of IoT is in costs for massive deployment of IoT devices and embedded technologies. Concerns. The first concern in the compromise of privacy and the protection of the personal integrity. Generally, the use of RFID tags for tracing people is a raised concern. The, in addition to this massive deployment of the sensor in various environment and also the reliability and accuracy of the data and information and the security has been uh, added one of the dimension or level of the concern. The case studies. So the case study, the first, the model, business development model, the Servagel India has developed this model by use of M2M for the clean water services. It uses the combination of GSM enabled remote monitoring system and water ATMs to provide clean water services in India. So in this clean water ATM, managed via GSM and enabled that use of stored value smart cards for water purchase. So their franchise business model ensures water protection. Local distribution is managed centrally. As of now, 7,65,000 people across 20 Indian states are getting benefited in this from this Sarvajal India. So let us have a look of this Sarvajal India, the how this unit can be executed. So this is the point, pickup point for water ATM. This is the entire purification plant, water purification plant. This is water distribution plant, and also pick up from the ATM and home delivery also it can be done. So the water purification plant will purify the water and the maintenance services, the online data support to the pickup of water ATM or maybe any other services that online support which can be managed by the local entrepreneur. From the local entrepreneur, the water will be distributed to the ATM, water ATM, as well as the home delivery. So the in the water ATM, the pickup at purification plant. So the pickup will happen in the purification plant itself. So directly. So the pickup from the local store, from the local store, these type of water cans will be picked and that will be delivered into the home. So this is the process of the Sarvajal India. So as we have seen, 20 Indian states are getting benefits, approximately around 7 lakh 65,000 people getting benefit on this. Now the newspapers to distribution center. Uh, then if you are looking this daily newspaper to distribution centers across the country, we need to ensure the time as well as safe and accurate delivery. So in this service, the news media will print the, it is under this hierarchy only. From the news media, print media, then the broadcast the news, then the internet news. These are all the three ways which we can have the newses. Print media, then the broadcasting news, then the internet news. From the broadcasting news, we can get the newses from the television as well as radio. The next thing is food supply chain management. So the theoretical concept says that very simply, I have underlined it very important points. The movement of food from producers to consumer, like purchase, storage, transportation, distribution, and processing. These process will takes place in FSCM. During the transit, active transport tracking device, that is ATDD device, will be used, uh, which will raise alarms to both the buyer and seller. And also it will check the weight periodically, thereby the control leakage. It will detect the raise alarm, then the food items expires FSCM. So in case of the expiry of the food item, then the FSCM will raise the alarm noise, and this particular FSCM detects the weeds, fungus, bacteria, and microorganism growth. Also, it can identify whether the food is spoiled or not. That can be identified easily. So the supply chain, the food supply chain, so it starts from, like in fashion, the growth of the food and the process package, the transport, then sell and buy. So in this grow, the farm grower producer will be there. The package and process and package, food manufacturer, bulk shipper or processor can be used at this moment. The transport will be taken place by the retail distributor, food service distributor, or international shipper. This transport. The sales can be carried out in grocery stores, some restaurants, or some international markets to the customers and the consumer. Stress measurement MTM solution as follows. So let us see this. The smartphone is connected with our smartwatch, and how the things and all monitored, how our body in our wireless body area network only it is connected, and how this can be uh, understandable by the system, and how our health care will be monitored. So the excitement, in case of excitement, the high, the point of high, the system will reflect some form of signals. In case of low, the low movement, the less movement of the things will happen here. So the low and high level of excitement will be measured by using the movement, whatever which we are keeping in our body. that can be communicated through the smartphone to our laptop or any other digital gadgets. So these sensors can only provide the intensity of the heart rate and the GSR and do not provide an answer to the cause of the intensity. The smartphone as a mobile gateway to send measurements to an application server hosted by a health service provider. So the application server analyze the collected data and it will give the stress level whether it is high or not. Same problem situated from an IoT perspective would be to add data that provide much deeper and richer information of the person contextual situation. In a specific situation, how what kind of problem a particular person is facing, that also will be handled in the IoT perspective. So more data can be analyzed to find out the specific contextual situation and correlated in order to find patterns and dependencies. So this depicted is also the importance of having expert domain knowledge. Without domain knowledge, we cannot work with this specific contextual situation that can mine the available the information and that can also provide proposed actions to avoid stressful situations or environment, which will give an idea to take our body to take some precaution measures or immediate actions while facing the stress conditions in our body levels. Now the M2M industry solutions. So M2M industry solutions, the consumer electronics, the transportation, the various utilities, and the education, education, attendance tracking, then the home and building, the smart home, the security alarm, then the agriculture, water resource management, the manufacturing, customized solution, asset management, the retail, that is ATM machines, cash replacements, and the healthcare, remote patient monitoring with smartphone, smart body sensors. Now, IoT oriented stress analysis solution is as follows. Now, the IoT having the different connectivity environment. So, the first, the weather and environment, it will be identified what is the temperature or whether it is rainy or cloudy or whatever may be the climatic environment that will be predicted today or tomorrow or by for the 1 week that will be identified. Then the home environment and activities also will be monitored, and the commuting experiences of the various vehicles and the expert knowledge in various city levels in the hospitals that also will be identified. Then the stress bracelet which is going to be whereby the human being will be communicated with the information will be communicated with the smartphone and the IoT takes place to take care of the person. And the lesser activities also some of the leisure period how we need to takes place for the people by using the proper scheduling. Then the work environment activities also will be carried out and monitored by using the IoT oriented stress analysis solutions. Then differing characteristics of M2M. So it is generally focused on solving a particular problem at a particular point for one company or a stakeholder. So it is specific. So it does not typically take a broad perspective on solving a larger set of issues. So it is very clear that focused, specific, particular. So most M2M devices are special purpose devices that are application specific. M2M solutions are therefore also vertical scenarios with no horizontal integration or connection to adjacent use cases. Then the M2M applications are built by very specialized developers and deployed inside enterprises. And M2M is also very device and communication centric. Robots. The process chain of the mine involving blasting, crushing, grinding, and ore processing will be highly automated and interconnected. So, the highly automated and interconnected devices in the heavy machinery used will be remotely controlled and monitored. Mine sites will be connected. So the sensors and actuators will be used to remotely control both the sites and massive robots in terms of mining machines for drilling and other processing or the instruments to make this happen. So the robots can be used for the drilling and other processing in the mining locations. So the global game changers, megatrends, technology and science moving towards this record and enabling capabilities. Finally, we are getting the IoT technology implications in IoT businesses. Current market perspective. So the currently the increasing of interest in M2M and IoT solution has been driven by the potential large market and growth opportunities. In M2M and IoT, the technology used for these solutions may be very similar, even use the same base components, but the data is managed will be different. In an M2M solution, data remains within strict boundaries. It is used solely for the purposes. And IoT data may be used and reused for many different purposes. Data can be shared between companies and value chains in internal information marketplaces. And also the publicly exchanged on a public information marketplace. M2M solutions, it takes place into the market internal marketplace and finally it will reach to the public IoT marketplace. It times it starts from a specific time to another specific time. It keep on moving, communicate with the public IoT marketplace. Thank you very much. Thank you.